What's up, everybody? Dog 1985. There's levels to this. All right, guys, listen up. Not a capping video or a trolling video or anything like that. I just want to have this conversation with you guys. So now we see what happens when Microsoft actually does something that is impressive, and that is Flight Simulator. So Microsoft does something that is impressive, like Flight Simulator. And instead of the Sony ponies, I mean, you don't gotta say that it's the greatest game ever or anything like that, but just to acknowledge what it is. Instead, you're nitpicking and calling this game trash. I don't even think you understand. And here's the thing, right? Like, some of you guys are way more technical than I am, so I don't get it. Do you not realize what this game is doing? Like, you can literally fly around the world. It is rendering the real world. Not only that, but with live weather. So if it's raining somewhere in real life, I'm trying to explain it to you. It's raining somewhere in the game, in that same place. That doesn't impress you. If that doesn't impress you, then there's nothing Microsoft can do. Which then leads me to believe that when you say you want Microsoft to compete, that's a lie. That's a lie. Everyone that has played Flight Simulator is telling you how amazing this thing is. There's no such thing as a perfect game. There's no such thing as a perfect game. And yes, if you go down to the ground or whatever, you're gonna see like weird textures or whatever, because it's rendering the entire world. Like, so then I hear it, we just want Microsoft to do better so it competes, so then it makes Sony better. That's not what you want. That's not what you want. And it really upsets me, because some of you guys, I actually believe when you guys say that. Some of you guys, I believe when you guys say you want Microsoft to compete. Yo, this game could barely run on PCs. And somehow they figured out a way to port it to the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S. That little machine that I was talking so much trash about, I've spoken a lot of trash about the Xbox Series S, could run this game. And then that's another thing too. Because it would kill the narrative that Xbox hasn't released a AAA game in whatever number of days. You guys are the only ones counting. They don't want to consider this a game. They consider it a simulation, which to me is, is fine. It's fine. It's in the name of the game, right? Flight Simulator. Okay, so don't call it a game, call it a simulation. But if we're gonna do that, you cannot have it both ways. So this is what I'm gonna tell you. I've said on this channel before that 30 frames per second is not next gen. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make it clear. 30 frames per second games, 30 frames per second games are not next gen. So Flight Simulator is perfectly fine, because according to you, Flight Simulator is not a game, it's a simulator. So yeah, 30 frames is perfectly fine. I'm okay with it. Do you like that, or do you want to consider it a game now? Because you can't have it both ways. It's either a game or a simulation. If it's a simulation, I'm telling you 30 frames per second for simulations are fine, because we're not doing anything anyways. The only criticism I have heard from people that have actually played Flight Simulator, which is a fair one, some people just get bored of it. But literally, PokeDude is turning it on again right now. And I'm sure, just like every game eventually loses its novelty. Every game eventually you get bored of. But the fact that I streamed this game yesterday for 1 hour and 48 minutes, didn't even realize that I was streaming it that long. I thought I was only playing for 1 hour. Came home, turned it on for lunch, streamed again, whatever, and streamed over what I was supposed to stream, just because I was chilling, flying, chilling. Like, I was enjoying controlling something with my controller, whether you want to call it a simulation or a game. I was enjoying it. Microsoft is giving me an experience. That's another thing. It's giving me an experience that I can only experience on this console or on a pretty good PC, which is what you guys are all about. All the exclusives. I want an experience that I can only experience on the PS5. So Microsoft does that for us, and you can't give any props? You can't give any props? I've said Ratchet and Clank is good. I didn't say it was a bad game. A lot of people say Ratchet and Clank is good. Our argument is that it's not worth $70. What's your argument for Flight Simulator? That it shouldn't be on Game Pass? Like, that's the problem. There's nothing for you to argue. There's nothing for you to argue, and it upsets you. But now your true colors are coming out. You don't want Microsoft to compete. You are definitely the closed-minded Sony pony that we thought you were. We have seen echoes of you saying crazy things and echoes of you guys leaving crazy messages and everything and capping real hard for Sony. And now this game comes out and you're telling me you can look at this game and not give it praise? This simulation, because it's only running at 30 frames. I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I'm actually disappointed. I'd figured you guys would be trying to get your next platinum right now in whatever game, exclusive game it is that you guys are playing, because I know you guys don't play multi-plat games. That's not a reason to get a PS5. And I know you guys don't play old games either. That's not a reason to get a PS5. So this is not an old game. Now we got a new game. You don't want to consider it a game, so it still doesn't count, so that ticker could keep going. Cool, so it's a simulation. So it's allowed to run at 30 frames because it's a simulation. There's nothing on the PS5 that's doing what this is doing technically. Big props to all the Sony fans that are actually giving this game praise and actually want to see and are like, wow, that looks really nice, or wow, I want to try it. Huge shout out to Optimus Cole, my dude. He put up a video or a tweet, I think it was, where he said he's spoken with pilots about this game, and they have told him that 99% of us don't even understand the technological marvel that is this game as a flight simulator. Pilots really understand. We don't. So if it's blowing my mind and I don't understand 90% of this game, I can only imagine. Right now I'm watching Poker do flying. Where are you flying? What is that?
Los Angeles.
Flying in Los Angeles. What do you think? How does that look?
It looks like it's really detailed. You can see the clouds on the cars.
It looks ridiculously good. Like,
You can see the pools, the houses.
it's a simulation running at 30 frames. I mean, at this point, now I know Xbox have been trying to tell me, like, there's nothing you can tell these Sony ponies, but I figure, like, no, there's things that they can't deny. There's things that they can't deny. Microsoft will come out with games. Microsoft will come out with experiences that'll be worthwhile getting an Xbox. And you still can't give this props. DocDog1985. This is gonna make me wanna up my trolling level even higher and really hurt your feelings. So if I was hurting your feelings and triggering you before, boy, get ready. We out. Peace.